Wood Testers.
Hey, what's good guys? This is Nightwing2303 from WordTesters.com. Today we got the performance review on the Nike Hypershift. So with that being said, let's go ahead, get right into it. It isn't bad, but it isn't great. These tiny little nubs that make up the outsole definitely perform better than anticipated. However, there are some flaws. Floors with heavy dust are going to require periodic wiping. Basically, all these little guys right here get clogged up, but that's something that we all definitely could have foreseen. Now, something that we could not predict is how well this stuff actually works while in motion. Each nub flexes and stretches and bites the floor, much like teeth. The downside is that these nubs take a little bit of time to grip the floor again once they've all come back together in this compact form. So while you're in motion, you're going to be receiving some exceptional grip. However, when you decide that you want to slow things down, maybe change direction, or just stop altogether, there will be some minor slipping involved until the traction regains traction. Now, as far as outdoor use is concerned, just look at it and I'll let you be the judge. XDR or not, these guys probably won't last too long. Now, in terms of cushion, these guys are super low profile, real close to the ground. The only actual real cushion that you're receiving comes from a rectangle shaped 10mm thick Zoom Air unit that is placed right along the footbed here at the ball of the foot, otherwise known as the strike zone. Now, despite the cushion being on the minimal side, they really don't feel like that while playing. Now, it's not an abundant amount of cushion, you're just not feeling that you have a lack of cushion while playing in the shoe. And I believe this is due to the whole shoe's, shape on the footbed here. It's very contoured and anatomically correct. It's very close to a foot map. And I believe because of this, the ride that you receive is very natural, very fluid, and transition is much the same. For those of you that are old enough, think back to Adidas's old Feature Wear system, or even some of their old first generation Pure Motion. It's not exactly on the same level, but it's a very similar feel. Then luckily, the Phylon midsole that makes up the rest of the shoe isn't of the dense variety, which allows everything to work really well and fluid together, unlike other shoes of the past that have had that same Zoom and Phylon midsole setup. So to sum things up, yes, the cushion is on the minimal side, but it is very effective for those of you that are looking for court feel. Now, if you're looking for a shoe from Nike that has a lot of cushion and impact protection, then the KD9 is probably a viable option. This is just a totally different setup altogether, so it's not really comparable. You're talking about extreme cushion versus extreme court feel and natural fluidity. Is fluidity a word? Pretty sure. Now, these materials aren't for everyone, but personally, I absolutely love them. They basically feature a mixture of this mesh along with some neoprene here at the collar, and then you got a little bit of skin fuse right here at the high wear areas along the eye stay and the toe drag area. Now, with a setup like this, there's no break-in time required. They feel awesome right out the box. However, this setup is going to be slightly less supportive than a more traditional setup, which features a more restrictive upper. Again, it's not for everyone, but if you've enjoyed setups like this in the past, then these ones you're going to enjoy the ride as well. Now, these guys fit true to size, and they should be able to accommodate most wide footers just because the materials are on the soft side, but trying them on is the best way to make sure. And then the lockdown was solid throughout, but the heel area was noticeably more secure despite the heel counter being on the flimsy side. This rear flywire system is awesome. It's tied into this top eyelet, and when you tie these things up tight, it forces this area to wrap around your heel, which pretty much ensures heel lockdown at all times. Now, just like most shoes, their support relies heavily on the fit, especially when you have a soft setup like this. So making sure that you're wearing your correct size is going to limit the potential of injuries, not just for this shoe, but for any shoe in general. Now, as far as actual support features, they feature a TPU heel counter right in the rear. But like I said before, most of that support is actually coming from those little flywire cables, which is pretty crazy because these guys right here ensure that your heel is staying in the back of the shoe right where it belongs. And there is a small torsional plate right here for torsional support. Meanwhile, the rest of the foot is attached to the footbed by these flywire cables, and the exaggerated rubber outsole also secures the foot and contains it for lateral support. And then last but not least, the anatomical setup that is very similar to a foot map on the footbed promotes stability, which is one of the best attributes that any shoe can offer. If you're stable in your kicks, then you're never going to be off balance. You can't get much more support than that. That pretty much takes care of it for the Nike Hypershift. These guys right here were a pleasant surprise on court. Their traction was way better than expected, even though there were some issues, but they weren't very big issues. They were kind of like the typical, hey, there's dust, wipe your shoe issue. The most surprising part for me was actually the cushion. It wasn't too bad, even though it is on the minimal side. If these old knees feel good after 2+ hours of playing in these things, then you know they're pretty legit. The materials, of course, come down to personal preference. Personally, I do love this setup. I like softer materials when done right, and these guys right here, soft materials. done right. The fit's extremely comfortable, and then the sport is pretty adequate as well. So these guys right here are not a bad option if they provide you everything that you're looking for in your performance shoes. Low profile players that like a lot of mobility and court feel are definitely going to gravitate towards these guys. And if you've played in them, make sure that you drop me a comment in the comment section below letting me know what you guys think. So thank you guys for watching. Thanks for all your support. If you need any more information, it's all over on weartesters.com. Direct link is going to be in the description box below. Scores, weight, price, all that kind of good stuff. It's over there on Wear Testers. So until next time, guys, have a good one. Yeah, what's good, guys? This is Nightwing 2303. Thank you guys for coming back and tuning in. They do feature the blue translucent tinted soles. Yeah, what's good, guys? This is Nightwing 2303. Don't mind it. I got a cool unboxing. They do have the Nike branding on the bottom and the heel. And then inside, yeah, what's good, guys? This is Nightwing 2303. I got a really cool packaging today. The insole itself is fluffy. It's a style featured these guys here. This is not the most premium Ortholite insole. Usually the more premium would be like the reds or the yellows. And then the basic Ortholite insoles are the blue ones. And then these ones are the gray ones, which are even more basic than the basic. Not complaining though, because it still provides plenty of step-in comfort, which I like. Complements the polyurethane midsole, since that is on the firm side, as well as the encapsulated heel and